They provided beverages and jokes for 11 years, but what occurred next will shock you. One celebrity went from America's sweetheart to a recluse after quitting the show too soon due to sadness. Another celebrity cheated with 3 ladies in one night yet saved his marriage. And the wonderful bartender who made us laugh weekly? An embarrassing scandal nearly cancelled it. Things would kill careers today. See who's thriving, suffering, and lost forever after 40 years in this video. Ted Danson. Ted Danson played and was Sam Malone for nearly a decade. Millions watched the flirting ex-ball player behind the bar on Cheers every week. Over 80 million people watched him terminate the show in 1993. One of the biggest TV finales ever. Although the world laughed and celebrated, Danson was silently getting exhausted. His famed persona trapped him. He felt stuck, frustrated, and ready to abandon the womanizing bar owner persona behind the scenes. By the conclusion of Cheers, Danson was suffering. He was 45. His divorce was traumatic, and he had just split from Whoopi Goldberg following their public liaison. The Friars Club roast followed. The night he wore blackface to joke with Goldberg. She supported him, but the response was swift. Nearly crushed him. No one laughed anymore. Instead, he was slandered. That night haunted him for years, represented everything bad. He later admitted he was emotionally immature. In an interview, he admitted to lying in former relationships. Despite not naming names, he made it obvious he had to change. That started something new. Deep self-reflection, therapy, mentors. It was hard. But it worked. Slowly, Sam Malone's creator changed. Ted Danson's new self found purpose in the ocean, unexpectedly. In Santa Monica, he took his daughters to the beach and saw a sign saying, "No swimming, polluted water." He couldn't explain it, and it transformed his life. From perplexity came a calling. He and a friend started the American Oceans Campaign in their basement. What started modest became Oceana, a global conservation organization. Danson contributed more than his name. He studied science. A fact was learned. Fame helped him spread the word. His message was basic. Oceans are dying. Unless we act now, everything else will fall. Everything from overfishing to plastic garbage to offshore drilling was his battle. He believed preserving the ocean would fix more than water. It might feed people, safeguard the climate, and limit the increasing number of disasters. In 2025, Danson's activism made headlines again. He marched for climate justice and supported the Green New Deal. He showed up, not just spoke out. As wildfires, floods, and droughts increased, so did his urgency. He warned that if we don't change this, the most vulnerable will suffer. His life was more than politics and protests. His career quietly reached a golden period. He played a lovely, complicated demon-turned-hero in The Good Place and received critical accolades again. Younger admirers who had never seen Cheers called him a legend. His current Netflix show, A Man on the Inside, was in the top 10 for weeks and earned him another Golden Globe nomination. The Carol Burnett Award, Shelley Long, will be his in January 2025. Shelley Long shined as Diane Chambers, the book-smart waitress whose wit and ambition won over audiences. From the first episode, she was different. Her speech resembled Shakespeare. Handled herself like a lecturer yet still made you chuckle. Diane and Sam's relationship fueled the show for 5 seasons. In 1987, Shelley left the show at its peak, changing everything. Fans were shocked. The writers panicked. Even co-creator Glenn Charles said critics thought Cheers may fail without her. At the time, the move seemed hazardous and foolish. For Shelley, it made sense. Hollywood was ringing with movie offers, and cinema was more prestigious than TV. She was lauded for her work in Irreconcilable Differences and Money Pit starring Tom Hanks. She wanted more than simply a fantastic experience. She sought growth. More was going on than ambition. Shelley had recently given birth to Juliana, and long days on set didn't fit her needs. She said in interviews that spending time with her child was more important than making another 22-episode season. She thought Cheers was repeating. Same story, tension. She didn't want to call it in because it was getting boring. So she left. Not everything behind the scenes was perfect. There were creative disagreements. Later, her on-screen companion Ted Danson revealed they experienced professional conflict. 2 persons with different work styles. Frasier, played by Kelsey Grammer, got additional lines. Some felt Shelley disliked the change. Whatever the truth, the sensation was evident. Her fame waned. She departed on her own, calling Cheers one of her most rewarding experiences. Shelley took weird career swings after Cheers. Hello Again, about a resurrected housewife, was her first big film after leaving. Troop Beverly Hills cast her as a naive but endearing scout leader. Neither stood out. Critics were unimpressed. Fans didn't bite. Leaving Cheers suddenly seemed foolish. The Brady Bunch movie followed. Shelley became Carol Brady, the perfect mom in a confusing world. It was odd and funny. And curiously nostalgic, reviving her career. She played the part in sequels and TV spin-offs, and it appeared she had found her groove again. Sitcoms tried to woo her back with nice counsel, but they failed. Her personal life quietly deteriorated during this time. Bruce Tyson and she divorced after 20 years. In 2004, they divorced. Shelley was moving away from the spotlight by then. Her priorities changed. She focused on her daughter, kept her head down, and only participated in projects she enjoyed. Shelley was struggling behind the scenes. She was exhausted by the strain to prove herself after Cheers. Every failure felt public. It seems every article asked the same. Was her choice wrong? Weight like that eats you. She struggled to disguise her depression after her divorce. She retreated further. Public sightings declined. One of her photos from 2022 made headlines because it had been so long. Ted Danson later compared Shelley to Diane. Brilliant, demanding, intense. Maybe that was the issue. When the character resembles you, it's hard to move on. By 2025, she's 75. She's basically retired, appearing in indie films and guest roles. The Cleaner was her last major job in 2021. Rhea Perlman. Rhea Perlman didn't set out to become a TV celebrity, but her time behind the Cheers bar changed everything. As Carla Tortelli, she was the show's harsh, sharp-tongued heart. From the first caustic phrase until the last episode, Rhea ruled. Not simply another supporting actress. She energized every situation. She was loved for her fire, comebacks, and honesty. Indeed, critics agreed. Her 10 Emmy nominations and 4 wins were the most for any actor on the show. NBC called Carla one of the best TV characters later. But Rhea was still finding her path before Cheers. A little taxi portion caught her eye. She worked with Danny DeVito there, who became her husband. After that, producers spotted something special in her. See grit, strength. That led to Cheers, where she spent 11 years and 275 episodes. She never left. Haida, her sister, wrote and produced the performance. Over 160 episodes featured their father, Philip. It was more than work. It was family. When the show finished, she didn't downplay it. She considered it her best job. Everyone pondered staying another year. And why not? As she explained, you accept annual gifts. Life off screen was just as complicated for Rhea. A little New York theater introduced her to DeVito in 1971. They hooked immediately and married in 1982, Cheers' debut year. After, Lucy, Grace, and Jay were born. They split in 2012 after 30 years. Most predicted divorce. That never happened. They're still married, close, and raising their grandchildren in 2025. After splitting, Rhea said the strain lifted and their relationship improved. They still visit, communicate, and discuss key events like the birth of their grandchild Sinclair in 2021 and another one after that. At Jersey Films, they still collaborate. Rhea doesn't die softly. She continued performing after Cheers. Pearl, Mindy, Canadian Bacon, and Matilda were among her flicks where she stole sequences. That last one? DeVito directed. They were perfect as Matilda's bad parents. But she continued. She stunned audiences with her dramatic portrayal of Barbie designer Ruth Handler in Barbie in 2023. Everyone was reminded of her continuing excellence. Auto Undercover was Rhea's children's book series. 6 volumes of strange, humorous experiences. Child magazine named one of them a best book of the year. Even at 77, she works, writes, and shows up. George Wendt. George Wendt did not intend to become a TV legend. On Cheers, Norm Peterson was meant to be just another stoolbound guy when he entered the bar. However, Went's laid-back style, excellent delivery, and everyman appeal made people love Norm. One of sitcom's most memorable characters began as a background role. Every time Norm entered and the bar yelled, it wasn't a joke. It became customary. Few knew how much effort he and his co-star, John Ratzenberger, put into their sequences. They created joke obscura, bizarre comedy they imagined no one would like. But it worked. Norm was more than funny. He touched lives. 6 consecutive Emmy nominations went to Went, who lost every time. He joked about it, but everybody remembered how the funny guy never got the trophy. Beer wasn't as exciting as it appeared. Went said he drank salty beer to make it foam. Very bad. He chugged it for scenes. It worried him about his blood pressure. Finally, he discovered a trick. Only when the camera was on him would he drink. You never see behind-the-scenes material like that, but it demonstrates how much work went into making Norm look natural. Went could have drifted away like many others after Cheers, imprisoned in the shadow of his most renowned role. But he didn't. First, it was hard. Normal was his image. Only Norm. Instead of resisting it, he found weird peace with it. In a later interview, he discussed playing a character who, like him, was only known for one role. That honesty resonated. Went experienced being frozen in others' memories. The health scare followed. Went withdrew from a large stage production in 2013 due to chest symptoms. That was serious. For someone who had always been peaceful, it reminded everyone, including him, that life can change in an instant. He then incorporated his real-life anxieties into his characters, deepening his performances. Went remains active in his 70s. Still working. Still appearing in films and playing new roles. Between 25 and 45 million is his net worth. Good for a man who used to watch TV from a pub. John Ratzenberger. John was merely an actor looking for a break in the early 80s. He thought his Cheers audition was a failure. He turned around and proposed an idea as he left, sure it was over. A pub patron who always had a quirky story. He immediately demonstrated why the Big Pen omitted the H from bitch. It was bold, unusual, and effective. That incident created Cliff Clavin, the trivia-loving mailman who appeared in every Cheers season. The instinctual move changed everything. Many thought Ratzenberger would fade after Cheers. Instead, he found something stronger than fame. Consistency. For Toy Story, Pixar gambled on him. From there, he was their lucky charm. From the abominable snowman to Mac the Truck, he appeared in every Pixar picture for 25 years. Seeing him in each new release became a game. He has billion-dollar box office statistics by 2019. The streak abruptly stopped. Nobody says why. Pixar dropped him as a voice actor. Fans don't know why, but John Ratzenberger wasn't just a filmmaker. He discreetly invented and ran a business. In 1989, he invented paper packaging instead of plastic. After a few years, he sold the company because it worked. After going digital, he invented a technique that employed celebrities to drive traffic to websites. He filmed Made in America in American factories as others pursued Hollywood roles. He sought to demonstrate construction and its importance. That objective became a movement. He provided $1 million to restore trade skills in public schools. Plumbing, carpentry, welding. He considered such occupations as valuable as Hollywood. His speech wasn't limited. He achieved it. Ratzenberger lived quietly away from the spotlight. After 20 years and 2 children, he remarried in 2012. After years in London, he went to a small Washington island and avoided Hollywood. Despite criticism, he supported conservative politicians and spoke out. He considered speaking up part of who he was. Kirstie Alley. After Shelley Long departed Cheers, pressure was intense. Kirstie brought a unique voice and persona, Rebecca Howe. She wasn't imitating Diane. She was clever, anxious, career-focused, and secretly a disaster. It works. She won an Emmy and a Golden Globe for her portrayal, which viewers loved. Before Cheers, Alley was scarcely known. The minor role in Star Trek II made her famous, but Cheers propelled her. After the show, she played dramatic roles and won another Emmy. She ran Veronica's Closet and reinvented herself. It wasn't always easy. Alley openly struggled with weight gain. She made it a show. She wrote a memoir from it. Reality program next. She revealed her personal struggles to the public. Entirely her. She never hid her opinions. Ollie spoke out on politics in Hollywood. She backed Trump. She stated it lost her jobs but held firm. Whether people liked her or not, she wasn't acting. The shock followed. Kirsty died of colon cancer after a short, vigorous battle in late 2022, according to her children. She didn't announce it. She kept quiet. Suddenly, a beloved TV celebrity was gone. At 71, Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson was Cheers' hilarious new man after a favorite character died. No one knew what to anticipate from him until something happened. He charmed listeners with his innocence and timing. One tiny part led to a breakthrough. He went beyond Woody Boyd. People were captivated by him. While serving drinks on the show, he was experimenting with film. A football comedy with Goldie Hawn was his first, but not the big moment. It happened later. He shocked everyone after Cheers. Stepped away. Fatherhood shifted his priorities, and acting took a back seat. Hollywood wasn't welcoming when he returned. The roles weren't ready as expected. Silence could have crushed him, but it didn't. Instead, he risked everything. He played a serial killer in Natural Born Killers, abandoning his good guy persona for a brutal, unpredictable part. People were stunned. The point was that now Woody Harrelson wasn't just the humorous bartender. He was violent, unpredictable, and talented enough to draw industry attention. A few years later, he got his first Oscar nomination for playing Larry Flynt in The People vs. Larry Flynt. That performance disproved doubts. Not just acting. Making himself equal to the greatest in the business. From then on, it continued. From military dramas to dark comedies, blockbuster franchises to indie darlings, he was a versatile actor. The Messenger, 3 Billboards, Zombieland, Hunger Games. The term meant range. His work was risky. Away from the camera, his life was chaotic. A London drinking scandal involving 3 women and one error that nearly cost him his marriage made news in 2002. Most would have lost everything. His girlfriend Laura forgave him instead of tossing him out. Many wouldn't believe. Woody was arrested the following week for yelling at a cab driver. Laura saved him. She was solid, not simply there. He still surprises people. He portrayed a calmer, more contemplative side in Suncoast, a 2024 indie drama. It touched viewers personally. Just when people believed he was settling into a peaceful era, he turned down 2 roles in the highly popular series The White Lotus. It wasn't about money, as people imagined. He stuck to his family holiday plan. Kelly Grammer. Frasier left after Cheers. Kelsey became more than a terrific show role. His face was one. But behind his polished, scholarly persona was a guy suffering in ways most can't conceive. In a home invasion at 13, his father was shot and killed. Years later, his younger sister Karen was kidnapped and murdered in a horrible act. It continued. He lost his half-brothers in a diving accident while trying to save one. One person could not bear the loss. Something kept him going. On the outside, he appeared in charge. Emmys, Tonys, beloved Simpsons voice work. But within, he was spiraling. He used drugs and drink so badly that other actors had to intervene. He was arrested, fined, sentenced, and ordered to clean up or lose everything. He almost did. Occasionally, he could hardly function. But then the cameras rolled. Like a switch, he became Frasier again. It seemed supernatural. His personal life was hard. For marriages, public scandals, harsh divorces, and children caught in the middle. After divorcing his 3rd wife, he married a younger woman 2 weeks later. Brutal headlines. He remained working, performing, and evolving despite all that. He revived Frasier in 2023. Though brief, it wasn't a failure. It showed that he was still eager to attempt after decades in the profession. Reuniting with Ted Danson after 30 years of alcoholism, resentment, and old scars was even more startling. That reunion may lead to new work, which fans never expected. Nicholas Colasanto. Nicholas Colasanto was more than a Cheers coach. He had survived combat, battled demons, and found serenity as his health declined. He was born in Rhode Island in 1924 to Italian-American parents and served in World War II before pursuing a Hollywood career. His long battle with drinking was hidden under his pleasant, goofy persona. very nearly destroyed him. In 1976, he became sober. Unfortunately, the harm was done. His heart was changed forever. Before Cheers began in 1982, Colasanto was considering retirement. The coach position was too good to pass up despite his rapidly declining health. He was so heartfelt as the forgotten bartender that the production would be incomplete without him. Over the years, his weight plummeted, and the actors noticed something was wrong. Still, he continued. Despite a late 1984 hospital stay, he returned to work. He was forgetting lines, but no one wanted to think it was the end. His last full episode was taped earlier, however he appeared in a tiny moment before the season ended. Nicholas died of a heart attack at home on February 12, 1985. His age was 61. The Cheers family suffered. He had hundreds at his funeral. He died but was remembered. Philip Perlman. Philip Perlman did not start acting till later. He was born 1919 in Poland. He spent most of his time in the toy business, far from Hollywood. Fate had other ideas. Philip retired to Los Angeles and visited Cheers, where his daughter Rhea Perlman was a star. He requested extra status. That little question altered everything. He was a background character in the bar, according to the director. As more people saw him, they liked him more. Philip has a natural rhythm without training. His daughter Haida, who worked on the performance, said he had instinctual timing that worked. Slowly, that extra became irregular. As Phil, a barfly, he joked and stole scenes. The actor appeared in 142 episodes. He was no longer backdrop. He was the show's soul, and his career continued. He appeared on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Frasier, and in films alongside his son-in-law, Danny DeVito. It was an unexpected second life of laughter, love, and late-blooming renown. From Poland to Hollywood, he died at 95 in 2015. Philip Perlman had one of the most touching second acts in business, from toys to TV.